Well, here we go. What is up, Master Auto Mike? I played Jaws today as long as I could because it's all I wanted to do when I went to CES 2024. I just wanted to play Jaws. Didn't really care to see anything else. We'll get into that. I will go back. I will get more play. I'll get more footage. We'll do a lot of stuff, guys. We'll do a lot of stuff. But let me start with this, guys. I got a funny thing to tell. Not really funny, but it's pinball related for sure. Well, first let me say, you used to know me as Rexy 2 pins, but soon it will be Rexy 3 pins when I buy a Jaws pinball. Ha ha! If that's a little no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I did see the My Arcade booth. I have a ton of stuff to go over with that, but I'm not doing that on this episode, Carl. I'm just doing pinball. Just it's going to be short, maybe a half hour here, okay? And I didn't see any of the Illuminati. I know you guys want to all answer these questions. I didn't see any Illuminati. Let me go over this one thing I thought was pretty interesting. So, a friend of the channel sends me this photo, and this is the inside of his Jurassic Park Stern pinball. Okay. Now there's a story here. Okay. If you look closely, there is a label inside his Jurassic Park that he recently bought called Jaws, and it says Jaws Premium. If you guys can see that, hopefully you guys can see that Jaws Premium on a label inside his Jurassic Park. Now that is pretty odd, but there's a story behind it because I got to tell you the story. Yeah, right. An Easter egg. Interesting, right? Very interesting that there's a Jaws sticker on the inside of a Jurassic Park Stern pinball. So when I got to the booth, when I got to the booth, there was some Stern employees. We just started talking, and one of the guys was the guy I met last year, and I told him, if you guys remember, I was like, hey, when I went there last year, I was like, you guys got to do a Foo Fighters pinball because I was always saying, we need a Foos. I was doing videos, and they hadn't announced it yet. But when I did say that to this guy and this girl, and it was Zach, I forget Zach's last name or Seth or what, I forget the full name, but him and this lady who worked for Stern, when I said, hey, you guys got to do a Foos, they looked at me like I had an eye growing out of my forehead. And I knew something was up. They just were really odd looking at me. So I go back, I talk to the same guy, and I take credit for them doing Foos. I'm like, well, remember I told you guys you had to do Foos, and I did a video on it. I'm like, hey, I'll take credit. I'll take credit for the Foos pin that you guys did. Okay, Carrie. So we're getting to this. All right, you're spoiling the fun. Now, you got to remember, people don't know pinball like you do on my channel. So don't spoil the revelation here. It's something that we all learned. So apparently when Stern does new pinballs and they start making them, they have code names so nobody releases the real name. So when you see a Jaws sticker inside Jurassic Park, it's because that was the code name they used for Jurassic Park. It was Jaws was what they called it. And then for like Foo Fighters, they called it Falcon, So you would see these things inside, these labels or people talking about it. That's how they would name it. Now, when I was talking to Zach, he was like, yeah, we had a problem with that because when we started calling it Jaws, we were like, why would we code name Jurassic Park something that we might do in the future? Let's never do that again, he said. So they had that, the code name has been out for a while, but anyway, it was just interesting to see, to hear the story of how they were kind of upset, the Stern employees, that why are we using code names that we might do something in the future with? So, what is this, a hint or something? Somebody's going to do the mate. They asked me, actually, Carrie, they asked me, they said, well, what, after I told them how I, helped them do Foo Fighters, they're like, well, what would you do next? Of course I told them a Whitewater remake, but, that might not. That might be for somebody else. Okay. That's a good one, Carl. That's a good one. Okay. So let's just take a look at the booth first. All right. Let's just let me clear this up. I got a little video here of just the booth so you guys can see what, oh, great. Doesn't want to play. Let's start this and let's try it again. There we go. All right, so this is the Stern booth. They had 5 Jaws pinballs. 3 were premiums and 2 were pros. And we'll get to this in a second, guys. We'll get to the premium versus the pro argument. We'll talk about that, so we will. But that was this side all lined up with Jaws. People just waiting to play for sure. I would love a Matrix. I was a big fan of the Matrix. I don't know how it would convert to pinball, but so here's some of the side art. You know, looks better than it does in this. You might be getting a little blurry, but it looks really good. It looked really good. Really impressed with the premium artwork. And then you'll notice that if you pause it right there, the pro version has a little different color blue, you know, just a little different color blue, as you can see from there. Oh, okay. See, we're getting news right here. Jersey Jacks on Matrix. All right. I could see a Matrix. It was cool. Maybe it could be a cool looking design. We'll talk about Orca. The Orca is on the upper playfield, but no Orca in the pictures really. But it is true that the art kind of looks like on the back glass, kind of looks like a little bit like the Meg, you know, and it's a little weird, but it's good. It's nice. It's not bad. And they had the Jaws movie playing, which was pretty cool. On the backside, there was also a statue, and then here's the games they had on the other side. They had Godzilla. They had Deadpool. Actually, they did have Deadpool. They had Venom. One Venom. Yeah, the Sharknado. The Avengers, and then one Foo Fighters. And I really didn't even go to that side besides to take this footage, guys. In all honesty, I just was like, I'm focusing on Jaws. I've played all those other ones. Don't really care. So we get to, we start to play, okay? And let me show some more footage, I guess, before I talk about playing the game, and then we'll answer any questions. No, I'm not like 7 feet tall. So I feel this one guy playing. I'm asking him, hey, how you like it? He really liked it. He thought it was good. We're going to talk about this reel here. There was a problem that was really bothersome. So this is the premium here. And I'll explain some of the features too that you'll see here. And I'll tell you some of the shots I didn't like. There was a couple problems that was problematic on here. I'm going to lay it out for you. I got a little table layout. There is a lot of, I don't know, Kerry, yes, one of the scenes did repeat a lot when he was playing, but there's a lot of different movie clips from it, all the way from the beginning of the movie to the end. So, that really didn't bother me too much. And I gotta say that when I'm playing, it's really hard. It's really hard to watch the video anyway. You know, so you're more just listening, and but obviously when you own one, you're going to want to watch the video and stuff. So I get that. But this is the pro. Obviously, everybody wants to know this, and I'm going to tell it to you guys straight. Okay, pro versus premium. I played them both, and I got to tell you, the pro is worth it alone. Just the pro. Okay, the pro is perfectly fine. Okay. I know the thing pops up. I know you have the upper play field, but I didn't miss it playing the pro. And I'm an upper play field guy, and I didn't miss it. It has the one enemy, the shark, and you're always shooting the shark, and the shark, it's all about the shark. Yeah. I get that. So anyway, let me get back to the pro versus premium. So obviously the premium has the shark that pops up, but when I was playing it, right, and the one thing you don't get from the pro, I guess, is you don't really know when the shark pops up and when to hit the captive ball again in that little thing. So you just have to know and get used to it. Oh, okay, the shark is technically popping up and I got to hit him again. Okay, that's the one downside of that. But okay, it's not a deal breaker for me. Okay, and then when I was playing on the premium, that ramp is tilted a little bit on where the captive ball is, and it was a lot harder to hit the 3 white arrows, because you got to hit 3 white arrows to kind of unlock some of the gameplay. You know, it tells you, okay, captive ball left, middle, right, and you got to hit it 3 times. And it was just really weird hitting it when it was on the premium. It just didn't, the ball didn't bounce like it normally did on the pro, because the pro was more flat in that area. So did I miss a lot playing from the premium and playing from playing the pro? No, I really enjoyed the pro. And I thought it was a good shooter, and we'll get into some of the shots in a second here, and we'll get into some of the problems. But I thought it had some really good shots. The one shot that bothered me, that was extremely difficult, and I think Carrie pointed this out, was the shot ramp to the upper playfield. Okay. Let me try and bring this up here. Hold on. Let me do this. Maybe see if I can bring up. Okay. So let's take a look at the playfield, and let's take a look. Try and point this out. Hopefully you guys can see this okay with the arrow and everything. So I believe it's this ramp right here. Okay. This ramp right here goes to the upper playfield. Yeah, I think the pro might be better value as well. And sorry, we can't see that, but so this is a tough as hell shot. Now, granted, when I was playing, they have this table tilted really with a big angle. Okay. And I asked him, I said, why is this shot so hard to get up the ramp? I'm like, you can't backhand it up the ramp. It was impossible to backhand. Me and this other guy were having problems getting it up the ramp, and you really needed to crank it to get it up the ramp to the playfield. Okay. Now I asked him, well, why is it so slanted then? And he said, the guy's like, well, when we do events like this and shows, he's like, we kind of want to make the game go faster, so people don't play as long, and it's kind of turns them over faster. So kind of take that into consideration when you're playing this game. You know, the ramp, it's going to be harder to get up that ramp. Now, they have the same ramp for the pro. Okay, guys, the same ramp is there for the pro. It just bypasses the upper playfield and comes flowing down the left side. Okay. So that shot was still hard on the pro, but again, they had it slanted really far down. So, it was a difficult shot. I hope that when you raise it up a little bit and then you can get a little more speed, it's not that difficult of a shot. It's not that difficult shot on the Foo Fighters going to the upper ramp. I mean, it's a nice, fun shot. This was a little frustrating because it kept coming back down. Now, the good thing is when it comes back down, it doesn't drain. It'll bounce off the left flipper. So it doesn't, if you miss the shot and it comes back down, I'd say 95% of the time it was just hitting the flipper. So it's a good miss. If you miss, okay, they don't penalize you and make it hard. So that was the good thing. Okay. Now let's start from the beginning of the game, guys. Let's start with the plunge. Okay. Let's just start with the plunge. Now, obviously you do the soft plunge, and he showed it here where you hit the barrel here. Now again, this is premium, but this bumper is still here on the pro, and it's just not with the barrel. It doesn't have that fancy design. Okay. If you just plunge normally, I think we're going to need a bigger boat. If you just plunge normally, let me bring up some of these chats so you guys see some of them when I bring it up. So give me 1 second here. Let's do this. Okay. If you plunge normally, it goes around this spinning wheel right here. It goes to the left, and then it goes around and comes down. This was driving me absolutely crazy because it was, I would say 50% of the time going right down the drain, and you needed to nudge in order to save it from going. And then when it didn't, it would hit this I'll call it a bumper here. It's not a bumper, but and it's not a slingshot, but it's a mechanism here. It would nudge off of this and then boom, straight down the middle, even when it didn't. And I know what you're saying. Well, do the skill shot and do the soft plunge. That's great. But what happens is when you have another ball shoot out or you have a ball save, it goes right up to that reel, spins right down, and comes right down the hole again. And it was just very bothersome that it wasn't allowing, it wasn't a good flow from the plunge. I just didn't like it at all. So that's going to bother people. That bothered me. Didn't really like that. And again, the one good thing is the default settings, they give you, even if you lose a ball after a saved ball, they actually were giving you another saved ball for a few seconds. And if you don't hit any points on the second plunge, you still have a saved ball. But not all the time. Sometimes it would just, there was no ball save because I either used it or something different was going on in the game, and it loops around. Now, I also want to talk about some other shots here. So that one bothered me. This ramp right here, the right ramp, it's a fun shot. It's very difficult. Fun shot, goes right up around the thing and then comes back down the right rail. Difficult, but fun, okay? This shot right here in the middle here, this is one of your main shots. I believe this is one that helps you start Jaws multi-ball. Again, I started a couple multi-balls. I started Jaws multi-ball. I started Rescue multi-ball, all that. And mainly on the Pro when I was playing, there's no ball locking. It's all, what do you call it? Phantom ball locking, which is fine. I mean, that's common on these games. So, that you just get used to. It's not, there's no ball locking system. And I didn't, neither on the premium as well. So this shot kind of reminded me of, not really of a whitewater or whatever, but it's like the easiest shot, right up the middle here, but the ball goes up and it comes down the rail here, and then you shoot again. Okay. So, fun, easiest shot in the game. Then you hit the chum bucket. It's good. It, bounces off, gives you some play. Then I talked about this shot right here, which was the, upper playfield, upper ramp, not an upper playfield on the Pro, but it's still got the same, skateboarder ramp, whatever you want to call it. I forgot what they called it. My chum Kev, yeah, he's out. He's got a problem with power at his house. Okay, then you got this left ramp here, very tough shot. Now, here's when this left ramp, now the far left ramp, it comes flying down this rail right here, and it'll catch you off guard the first time. Once you get used to it, you're good to go. It just comes flying down the left. I would say probably like Venom, even though I didn't play Venom. So that is a very fast shot. Kind of fun. Add some change. But once you get used to it, it's easy. Yeah, both games had the my plunge concern, which is if you don't do a skill shot plunge, then you're going through the reel, and it's coming right back down, and you're not going to like it. You're not going to like the way it feels or the way it comes down. And again, don't forget it. Auto plunges on certain shots and certain balls when you either lose a ball or you're even a multi-ball, obviously it's going to auto plunge. So yeah, so that one shot is very fast the way it comes down that rail, which is pretty cool. And you get used to it, but it'll throw you off guard. You'll lose your ball the first couple times. All right, this is the fun shot, guys. And the right flipper here kind of is the fun shot. To me, it's super frustrating. It's fun because you can trap it. You can trap the ball. Okay. And then, you hit these three targets right here, but one of the shots you want to get is up in this lane right here. And it's pretty difficult because once you trap it, it's like hard to get a smooth flow from it. Once you trap it in the right flipper here, it's hard to get a smooth flow. But again, that frustration, that shot kind of makes it fun. Okay. Now, one other thing, I'm going to keep going down the list. I believe Elwin said you're going to have to learn to nudge. Right here, if you look closely, there's a stopper or I don't know, Carrie. It's like a post, but it's not one of those posts, but it's a post that comes down the outer lane, and if you nudge it correctly, you can kick it back into play. So that's it's a cool thing. It's, I don't think it's new or anything like that, but it's a feature that'll add some flavor to the game. So you do have that as well. So this board that I'm showing you here is the premium. Okay. When the shark comes up, it's not really that exciting. I'm sorry. It's not that exciting. The boat goes up, the shark comes out, you hit it, and you're kind of trying still to figure out what's going on. Other than that, you have the upper playfield, but again, the shot's very difficult. It doesn't seem like you're up there a lot. Everybody I watched shot the upper playfield, either missed the flipper completely, even though they knew it was there, or they had one shot and it went down the drain. It went down the ramp. So it was difficult. Dead post. Okay, it's called a dead post, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, you just got to click it or shake, nudge, and then it can come out on that post there. Right there, that one. Okay, so here's a question, Papa Brad. So Rexer, would you trade your Foo Fighters or JP for this heavily promoted new Stern? That's all we need to know, and that's what I'm getting at. No, never, not. Maybe I have a Foo Fighters infatuation, though, that would cause me to say this is not as good as Foo Fighters. I don't think it's as good as Foo Fighters. It's definitely not as good as Jurassic Park. But I don't think it's as good as Foo Fighters either. I don't. Is it good? Yes. Very good. I had a lot of fun playing it. I will tell you that. A lot of good shots. Yes, there's a lot of shots up the middle, but this side flipper really adds some flavor. The trying to get that upper ramp, yes. Could it get stale in the long run? Maybe it could, because there's a lot of shots up the middle here, middle, left shot, left ramp. And especially if you didn't have it, maybe it could get stale. All right, thank you, Stringer Films.
Thanks for the super chat. I don't even know what a super chat is.
Was that the only toy shark you saw at CES? Yes, it was. Toy Shock, I guess, is there. The company Toy Shock. Thank you very much, Stringer. But I did not see them. I did not care to go to them, but I may tomorrow or the next day. If that's what you're getting at, Stringer. Toy Shark, the Toy Shock. If you love the IP, and the boat does seem kind of cheap, this is a good game. I mean, this is a fun game. I obviously I didn't get through a lot of the game. I was still trying to figure it out. I was still trying to figure out how to activate multi-ball and get extra balls and kind of just figure out the shots and what activates what's, and it goes a little fast. But it does have some fun shots. It's not boring at all, especially if you have the upper playfield. Again, I didn't think you needed the upper playfield. I think the Pro is very sufficient. I think it's good. I think you would be very happy with the Pro if you were going to go that route. I don't think you're going to go, oh man, I wish I had, the premium. I don't think that'll happen. Now, what else did I have a problem with? I'll just tell you a couple of minor details that really aren't just some mechanical difficulties they had. This flipper got stuck on me once. It was really weird. This flipper stuck up. This one went down, but this one was still stuck up, and I had the ball captive in here. And then when I let it go, it didn't go down, but this one went down. After a little bit of shaking and flipper hitting, it went back down. This was a weird thing that happened. Okay, so we talked about the dead post here where you can nudge and get back through the gate here and go in. Well, one time the ball went through the inner lane, right? And somehow it jutted out to the outer lane through the gate. The gate was too open. Again, just an adjustment issue, but odd that, that's what happened. It's the peasant version, the $7,200 peasant version or whatever it is, the Pro. Paul Crook, would you pay extra for the premium? I would not. And I'm a premium guy. Both my pinballs are premium, but I would not on this one. I would not. Sorry, I just wouldn't. Unless you're a huge Jaws guy and you got to have the upper playfield Orca. You don't get anything Orca on the Pro. There's just nothing there, which kind of sucks. You don't get the boat, but I don't know if I don't think it's worth it in my opinion. But again, I'm not 100% sure. Oh, by the way, Papa, thank you for the super chat on the last stream we did. Thank you very much, Papa, for supporting the channel on the last stream. And let me read this one.
Thanks for the super chat. I don't even know what a super chat is.
Thank you, Papa, for the #1 arcade one-up channel and sometimes Stern Pinball channel. This is the definition of game you just play on location. The definition of a game you just play on location. If you're not a Jaws fan, probably. But that's the same for Venom, right? Venom is not a game you're going to want in your home. You're going to like the sound, even though it was loud. You could hear some sound. Very good. Very, the call-outs were great. The music was pretty good. I didn't activate the video mode, which was kind of disappointing, but I did see one guy activate it. I asked him, how did you activate it? He's like, I don't know. So that was pretty fun. They didn't have the 3D glasses, so I didn't get to do any 3D for it. Yeah, it doesn't need a bigger boat. It just needs a boat. Could have done anything. So that is my story at CES, guys. People did enjoy it. And MKF 30, do you think MK1 will have MK4 to it? No, they will not. No, they will not. No MK4 coming. So again, final thoughts, guys. I got to play it for a decent amount of time. Okay. Good enough where I think I could make a good judgment on the game. A couple of the shots did bother me. But I don't think it was anything where I would just totally just disregard the game and say, no, I don't like it at all. Is it as good as Godzilla? No. Is it as good as Jurassic Park? No. Is it as good as Foo Fighters? In my opinion, no. That's my thoughts on I think a lot of people will agree with the sentiments that I'm saying. But we'll see. Time will tell. Is it a good shooter? When people say, is it good? Does the ball flow good? Does it feel good? Yes, it does. It does feel like a good shooter. There were some pinball people there. They didn't have any qualms with the way it shot, even though that playfield was really slanted down. But me and the guy playing noticed it right away. We're like, this is wrong. You can't get it up this ramp here. But again, Carrie said that somebody else had a problem. So $5 super chat. Thank you, Paul. So the question is, Rex, did you put your pre-order in? No, I did not. I know I said I was going to be Rexy 3 pins, but the only time I'm going to have 3 pins is if they come out with whitewater. And that's the only way. I'm not doing it. Not doing anything before I know no whitewater is being made. Yeah, did they do? Thank you, Paul. By the way, did they do a little bit? I got it. Right.
Thanks for the super chat. I don't even know what a super chat is.
So, I don't know if it's a waste, but they could have done more. And somebody said that, why wouldn't you have the shark eating the ball? The shark eats people, right? Why wouldn't it eat the ball? Maybe lock it, like eat the ball, lock it. Have a locking mechanism for multi-ball. Why isn't it eating the ball? Something like that. Makes sense to me. I'm not really sure why they didn't do that. They did not share any roadmap. No, they weren't going to divulge any new pinballs or anything. I didn't really ask because I don't think they ever would share. So I didn't really ask. Conti, you think it could get better? Could get even better with better code? Okay. Eat Quint like at the end of the movie. I wonder if you get to the end, you see just blood spewing everywhere and Quint getting getting slaughtered by Jaws, you know? Oh, that would be a good one. They tried for a shark. Okay, see, Conti knows his stuff. They tried for a shark eating ball. Didn't work. It didn't. I don't know if you got if T-Rex can do it, why can't they get Jaws to do it? Could it eat it down the throat? Go kick it out somewhere else. You know. I don't know. Yeah, well, and that's kind of how it was. You hit him once, he goes back down. You know. I don't know. But you don't. It's not. It's not like you kill them and it's like shark in the water. You gotta go and catch other sharks, and then it flashes which lane you gotta hit to catch the shark. When you're doing bounties and stuff like that. There's some code there that I didn't quite understand originally, and as I played more, I got into it. So it was pretty good. But again, without owning it or playing it forever, I'm just giving you guys my first thoughts, and I hope you get a chance to play it on site. But if you ordered a Pro on here, I don't think you'll be disappointed if you really like Jaws. Yeah. What's the deal with the lesser sharks? I don't know. I don't know if that's a mode. I guess because Quint's a bounty hunter and he hunts sharks, but they got all these different sharks. Oh, which quest do you want to choose from which shark to go hunt down? Yeah, I guess it's okay. But yeah, why does my stream get? Stream bit rate is too low. It's lower than the recommended bit rate. We recommend that you use a stream bit rate. I guess I'll have to change that. All right, next time I'll change 6,800 bits. Yeah, you do. Well, you kind of see Jaws. Yeah, I guess. And the Pro is the best looking one. Kind of is. I don't know. I mean, I do like the side art, but it kind of is the better looking one. I can't disagree there, guys. I don't know what code they were on. I don't know the version. I can ask that tomorrow and figure that out. Any other questions? That's good. I'm glad it's coming through okay. I guess I just got to change some OBS settings. Who knows? OBS sucks. Oh, one last thing. Oh, did I put it here? I'm just gonna add this, guys, and you're gonna have to wait for this because. This is I just gotta brag a little bit here. Oh geez, I didn't want it that big. Guys. Shrink it down a little. Sorry, you guys are gonna have to deal with my OBS. Oh, this is the leaderboard. The leaderboard. They have the leaderboards at CES. You can you can put in your Stern connected, and they're all connected at CES. Oh, who's number 2 when he left for the day? There it is. All right, there you guys go. Who do you see as number 2? Number 2. It's the Rexa Show. That's how you do it, guys. That's how you do it. Obviously, Stern Zach, 980 million. And if I would have played more, I could have beat that score. Thank you, Brad. I mean, people beat it as they go and play more, but I could have beat it if I played a little longer. You kind of got to learn the multi-balls a little bit, and yeah, but other than that, I'm just going to boast a little bit there, guys, a little bit of bragging. Thank you, Polo. Who does number 2 work for? Number 2? Pinball is a skill. Oh, yeah, I did not Photoshop that, Paul. I did not Photoshop that. That is the way, that is the number 2 score. Number 2. Stringer Films. How much time did you spend at the 1UP booth? I would have spent all day there because I just wanted to see 1UP. Just wanted to see 1UP. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the stream, but I want to say there will be some My Arcade content coming out. They got a lot of stuff going on, and I got a lot of good information, so hopefully I can get a video out soon on that. Yeah, everybody knows Art Vandelay. Everybody knows Art Vandelay. Was he the importer-exporter, or he was the architect? Architect. Art Vandelay was the architect, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. You're welcome, Video Game Vegas. All right. We'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks for watching everything. And leave a comment or leave a question if you want. Thanks.